Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Daredevil. So this movie follows Matt Murdock, who, although he is blind, his other four senses function as a superhuman sharpness, and by day represents the downtrodden in a court of law as an attorney, and at night he is Daredevil, a masked vigilante stalking the dark streets of the city, a relentless avenger of justice. And in this movie he has to take on Bullseye and the Kingpin. And it also follows his relationship with Electra Nachos and stuff as well. This movie is decent. I'll say the story is pretty decent. It's not super great, but it's decent. The action is pretty good for the most part. There's some really good action scenes throughout the movie, and the cast are all pretty decent. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner especially, I really did like them as Daredevil and Elektra. I think that they could have been better casted, but I think for their roles they did a good enough job with these versions of the characters in this particular movie. I think they were fine for this version. The score in here by Graham Revell is really good. It fits the movie really well and has like a kind of a rock tone to it that goes along with the soundtrack too. And the soundtrack is fire in here. It has a really great soundtrack with songs from Evanescence, especially Bring Me to Life. I just love that song. Every time it comes on the radio at work and stuff, when I was at work, I would always love listening to it and everything. I just love this song and everything, and it fits into this movie so well for some reason. I don't know why, but whenever that song comes on in the movie, I just absolutely love it and everything. And it's one of the best songs in a superhero movie, especially from that time period and everything. Yeah, it's got a really great soundtrack, and I'll say the rest of the cast are pretty decent here too. You got Colin Farrell as Bullseye, and he's alright. Jon Favreau has a small role in here as is Foggy, and he does a good job and everything. It took me a minute to remember the guy's name. Yeah, Foggy, he's pretty good. I like the guy that plays Foggy on the Daredevil TV show a lot more though, and I personally think Charlie Cox is a better Daredevil than Ben Affleck. But I think for this movie he's fine and everything. And as far as negatives go though, I'll say the CGI isn't very good. It's pretty bad early 2000 CGI. There is a lot worse out there that it's not as bad as like say The Mummy Returns is CGI with The Rock, or Doom, or some of the other movies that came out in this time period. Even the 2003 Hulk movie that came out the same year had worse special effects that don't hold up as well as this one, but the CGI in this is a lot more noticeable now and everything. I watched this one for the first time in a long time and everything, and this was also my very first time seeing the R-rated version. The R-rated version is definitely better than the PG-13. The story is a lot better written in the R-rated version. The action is better, and I feel like Matt Murdock's character arc is just written a lot better in the R-rated version. Everything. And I also forgot to mention Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, and he's one of my favorite actors. I always really liked Michael Clark Duncan. Everything he was in, I thought he was really good. And in this movie, I think he has a likable screen presence, but I think he was miscast as Kingpin, because he usually plays really likable, good characters and everything, and he's really good at playing good guys and stuff, but I just feel like he wasn't as intimidating as Kingpin should be and stuff. Like I felt like he could have been casted with somebody that would have fit the role better. Personally, I think if Ving Rhames would have been a much better Kingpin, personally. and everything. And I do like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin on the show and everything. I think he's more suited for the character and everything. Then he's more of a comic accurate version of the character than Michael Clark Duncan. But I think Michael Clark Duncan does the best that he can. Everything. He didn't have the best script to work with either, so I mean, I guess that there's that too. But he was fine and everything. And the pacing is, like I said, it's a little bit all over the place. There's parts where it goes by really fast and it's really fun paced. It has a lot of fun moments. And here, especially that playground scene with him and Elektra when they're playing on the playground, fighting and stuff. It's just a lot of fun, and everything is silly and stuff, but it's fun and everything, kind of cheesy and everything. But that's just part of that early 2000s cheesiness that adds charm to the movie for me and everything. And all in all, I think this is an okay movie. I think it's alright. It's not, there's a lot better and worse comic book movies out there and everything. There's been some in recent years that are better than this, or actually a lot in recent years that have been better than this. There's some, though, in recent years that I would say are worse than this, so I wouldn't say this is like one of the worst movies ever or anything. It's not one of the very worst Marvel movies. This is better than some of the MCU movies. It's better than some of the other Marvel movies, but it's definitely not one of the best. It's like somewhere in the middle for me, all in all. So I'd give Daredevil a C. It's an okay movie. Even the R-rated version doesn't add enough to make it a much better movie, but it is still a better told story with the R-rated version. I haven't seen the PG-13 version in years. I was hoping to watch both versions before I reviewed the movie, but I just didn't get around to it. I don't remember the PG-13 version very well either, because I've only seen it a few times and everything. It's not one that I've ever really liked to revisit a lot, because it's never been one of my most favorite movies. But I think it's okay and everything. Like I said, the TV show is so much better, and I've only seen like 5 or 6 episodes of it, but I think the show is way better and everything. And I think Charlie Cox is a much better Daredevil. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Daredevil from 2003, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.